So real quick, first off, thank you everybody for being here. Patrick, can you see the waiting room, Patrick?
No, I can't on my end.
Okay, then I'll have to be kind of multitasking and paying attention to that. Just kind of introduce everybody who's on the panel and give you kind of a flavor for who they are. We just randomly picked it. We tried to get some different people on the panel, and we've got a kind of an interesting mix. So we have our OG Kev on the panel, who's been with us since the very beginning, since before Flex. And Kev has, just to put in perspective for you, Kev's had 474 leads in his time on Flex. He's saved up in times of dire need, which kind of hurts his totals a little bit, but Kev's closed 27 effing transactions for a 6% overall lifetime conversion rate. So give him a hand real quick, please, because that's pretty badass.
And want to reiterate, like, Kev took a ton of extra leads at times and was just dumped a bunch of leads. So his conversion rate is more
a 10% or above. But because he stepped up in times of need, it doesn't reflect as well, but still, yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and Kev I think Kev might have the highest ALM rate as far as setting appointments. That guy doesn't get off the phone without the appointment set. I'll tell you that right now. Christine Canales, who isn't here, but you got to give this woman a lot of credit. She's taken 100, she's only been licensed for barely a year. She's been on the Flex team for not even quite a year. She's taken 109 leads, so basically her quota of 10 a month, and has converted at 6% for 7 deals. So it's nice to hear from, OG new, you get a lot of different perspectives. Leslie,
add on that, if you don't mind, I want to add on that. What's great with Christine is that she started off in the first 3-4 months was really struggling, reaching out to me like, I'm trying, I'm just not getting traction, but she was doing all the things. There's one person I got to give credit to that showed up to all of our trainings, that always reaches out for help, that is always present in the office, trying the things. And then boom, what do you know? She started getting traction, momentum, and now she's on fire. So really, really got to give her props for that.
Yep. And then we've got Leslie, another, I would call a newbie, but not really. I mean, all these newbies are not newbies. Yeah. I mean, she literally got her license in hand in September of 22, and a week later had her first lead and converted that first lead. And Leslie's taken 122 leads, converted 9 for a 7% conversion rate. She might be doing a few things right like everybody else. It's pretty awesome. Looking forward to hearing some of what she has to say. Patrick, you want to add on to that? I know you do.
Leslie also, though, got after it, took a lot more initiative. She knows things in lofty I don't know. She had done more of the Zillow Academy than anybody on the team on her own. So props to her.
You'll hear that in the questions. She's got more. She's done all the Zillow Academies. Success leaves clues, guys. You're going to hear everything from these people, and you might want to take some notes. And by the way, Leslie's first call was an accident. I was actually entering her into the system and didn't realize as I'm entering, it automatically makes you live. I have to go back in after I'm done entering you and pause you. And so she thought I was messing with her and testing her, and she actually got that call on Vasco Road and converted it. First lead.
And I got to give props to Cassie, who at the drop of a hat, will you help me? No problem. And we went and she showed me how it was done. And yeah, so thank you, Cassie.
You were on your way to onboarding, I think.
So this just keeps getting better. We also have Mia on here, who's been licensed a while, but only been with us a couple years, and who just took the bull by the horns when it came to this. And Mia's taken 83 leads, 83, you guys, closed 8 of them for basically, actually, I put that down wrong, 10% conversion rate.
Wow.
10%. That's Zillow's bar. Their minimum standard is 5%, but their bar is really 10%. And there's a lot more people that are in the double digit, but we wanted to mix it up and make it to where we had a little bit of flavor from every level from you guys, and you can really, especially those of you who are newer to the team, you can really glean a lot from all this. And then rounding it out, of course, the Misty Matthews show, who has been with us, licensed a long time, but really been practicing resale for 1 year, 13 months, and very new to the Flex team. But Misty has taken 86 leads, and Misty has converted 11 for a 13% conversion rate. So there is, yeah, give her a hand. Give everybody you're going to hear from a hand, because I'll tell you what, you got some great. First off, all of you are doing great. That's why you're on the team. But this is just kind of some of the best of the best, some people with some really great practices that we wanted to hear from. Patrick, anything else before I dive into this and start rattling off questions?
Nah, looking forward. Just thank you guys all for being here, and especially the 5 of you that we're interviewing for taking time out of your busy schedules to pour into the team and share what has helped you all become so successful. And yeah, looking forward to this.
All right. So, and just in the interest of time, we're not going to have everybody answer every question. We've got 12 questions. We've asked all of them. We try and make it easy and efficient. So we've already given them the questions, and we're just going to randomly pick, different people for different questions. Although the first one, I want everybody to answer, because I want you guys to hear this. The first question is, what is your mindset in regards to the Flex program and Flex leads? Mia, let's start with you.
I love it. It's actually helped me. I was licensed for 1.5 years, I believe, before I came to WR, and I had only done 2 deals that entire time since I was licensed. Granted, it was also during COVID when we got shut down and everything. But joining the team has really kept me working or looking like I was doing something, even though I didn't have anything in the works. And then when, things were slow or I was trying to get more personal deals, I had that to fall back on to just keep things alive, basically.
Very cool.
Momentum.
Thank you. Leslie, how about you? Your mindset in regards to the Flex program, Flex leads.
This was the trick question, right? No, I,
Tricks.
yeah, that's what I said. I'm like, is this a trick question? So I love it. It's all I've really ever known since I got, my license. It's helped me to learn how to do things. It's taught me how to communicate with people. I had a pretty decent sales background before I got into real estate, but just with all the training and the group and the questions and the feedback and just listening to everybody else, I love being part of a team. And yeah, it's great. It got my business off the ground and we're still good. So yeah, I really like it.
Thank you.
And it's free.
And it's free. By the way, you know what you said? It's free. Do you realize, just to put this in perspective for the group, if you were to join the market-based pricing, in other words, go out on your own and buy leads from Zillow, our average lead that comes in, over $500 per lead. So when that phone rings, that's a $500 frigging call. I want you guys to hear that. If you paid for 5 or 10 leads a month on our team, you'd be paying $5,000. Actually, more than that. So anyway, just a little perspective for you. All right, let's get Kev. Why don't you chime in on what's your mindsets?
I absolutely love it. It actually has propelled my career quite a bit. Over the last 3 years, I've probably doubled in transactions from my previous years before the program. And on top of that, it's I know we work really hard, and then, and a lot of rabbit hole chasing, I like to call it. But at the end of the day, once you close a lead, and that my biggest takeaway is I've had already 5 leads that I've closed give me referrals where I've closed those leads, which are personal at that point. So to me, it's the endless flow of leads and then adding to your personal business. And it's just a rotation, kind of like a flywheel. And once you get the momentum going, it's pretty awesome.
Thank you for sharing. You guys hear that? 5 referral over that course of time that no success fee owed on. Yeah. Tennille, yes, give it, that's absolutely deserves a hand. Let's see, who am I? Misty Matthews, your mindset.
So for me, Zillow, every lead is an opportunity. A lot of people I know, it's a grind, but it's an opportunity. For me, yeah, I've had my license a long time, but I closed, if we go from January to January, I closed 15, but if we go, I really didn't start taking calls till February to now, I literally closed 16 deals. And out of those 16 deals, all Zillow, okay, one was a personal person that I met at the gym a while back, but it was all Zillow and referrals. I got 2 listings and another referral. And I think for some folks that was in the meeting, the referral, well, I got 2 referrals. One I'm still working with, approved up to $1 million, and one I closed at 2.257. So Zillow is, there's no way I could have come into real estate my first year and closed that many deals. And just looking at that, I received listings. It's just the opportunity, guys, is endless if you work it right and you have the right mindset. Every call is an opportunity.
Love it. Every call is an opportunity. That is brilliantly put. Patrick, do you have Christine's teed up?
Yes,
her
sir.
mindset?
I do. Let me know if you guys can't hear this or see this. Otherwise, I'm rocking and rolling with it.
The first question, what is your mindset regarding the Flex program or Flex leads? I'm super appreciative of the program because without it, I would not have had all of my deals with the exception of one, which was my son. So I've had 7 other contracts because of this program in a year's worth of time. So I'm very much appreciative of it. I feel like it's a very rich program. Obviously, just like anything else, there are leads that don't turn into anything, but you just have to get through so many to get to the gold nuggets, because there are definitely gold nuggets in there.
Love it.
that was good.
Love it.
Question, what is your mindset regarding the
Oh.
Perfect. All right, let's jump into some meaty questions. Some of these are pretty good, you guys. I think one that you hear us talk about a lot, but how quickly do you give up on an unresponsive lead? Mia.
So I didn't realize at first till I was really paying attention to some of these unresponsive ones that I was like, oh shoot, they were from when I first started Zillow, which is, I've been on it for 2 years, like a year and a half. And I'm like, oh man, nothing. But I usually wait at least 8 to 12 months and I do my follow-ups. I send messages. Most of the time I don't get anything back. And then I've moved them to nurture. Then there were a few that I did have to reject because when they finally did respond to me, they weren't in the market or already found something. But yeah, I guess I wait a really long time.
Well, it works. So thank you for sharing that.
When
Misty
you move them
Matthews.
to nurture, if you don't mind me asking, when you move them to nurture, do you just throw them in Zillow on nurture, or do you use anything else in Lofty?
No, it was in, definitely Zillow and then Lofty too. And then I didn't realize I wasn't tagging them properly till you brought it to my attention to put a tag so the smart plans kick in.
Nice. Awesome.
Love it. Love it. Misty Matthews, how about you?
Honestly, I don't. Out of my 86 leads, I think I have 5 that are rejected. And my nurture folks, guys, I think I've talked about this before. I do a lot from my phone. So that way, no matter what I'm doing, I stay on top of my updates and I just either shoot them one of those great little templates that Patrick created a few months back, or I just do some cut and paste. And yes, actually last week when I was in the office, we had a Zillow call and I thought, well, let me just kind of maximize my time. And I reached out and literally like 5 people got back in touch with me, just letting me know where they were in the process. So I don't give up until someone says, I have an agent, I bought a house, or I'm not going to do business with you. It's that simple for me. Like that's the only time I get rid of anybody.
You guys hear that? I don't give up unless they tell me one of 3 things. Bought a house, don't want to work with you, or have an agent. And even at that, have an agent, it's got to be well, I know it's not like, the first call, oh, I have an agent. It's like, nah, you keep at them until they're like, look,
And they have to like
agent.
tell me to go away, not just, you know, I have an agent, so.
Yeah, you guys, and you heard her say it right from the beginning. It's a grind. Like let's not sugarcoat it or call it something it's not. It's a grind with great results if you can grind. So anyway, great, thank you. And then Kev, how quickly do you give up on a unresponsive lead?
We personally reach out to a new lead, probably up to the 9-month range. And when I mean personal contacts, personal phone calls, personal text messages beyond the whole lofty. And, but then once we hit that 9-month mark, we kind of put them on that automation plan. And then it's more of a, less, reach out to them on a less periodical basis. Because you do have to take care of your hot leads, and you do have to kind of prioritize your time. And if someone's ghosting you for 9 months and you're just chasing ghost, you may not be around for a while. So it's kind of that 9-month mark for us, I think.
Nice.
And then we let Lofty do its thing, and we've had Lofty itself bring back clients. So that's the best part. Even if you forget about somebody, they're still being touched, on a weekly or monthly basis, on the back end. So it helps out tremendously.
Love it. Patrick, you got something you want to follow up with on that?
Yeah, Kev kind of just answered it, but I want to see if anybody else has had it where, you have a lead that ghosts you. And I know I've had this happen in my career. They're ghosting for 6-9 months, nothing. You think they're dead. You think they hate you, blah, blah, blah. And then out of nowhere, it's not like you send some crazy unique follow-up or anything super special, but they reach back because they're ready to get back in the market and you're the one staying top of mind. So I'm guessing you guys have with your follow-up, but if Mia or Mysti or Leslie want to chime in on any of that, or Kev, you can go ahead first, of course, since your hand's up.
So I probably I still think Misty's personal lead trumps this, but my greatest success with the Zillow program is in the beginning. We had a lead that I worked for 6+ months, and she was ghosting me the whole time. Put her on the nurture plan. 18 months later, from the beginning, 18 months in, she reached back out and wanted to view a property. And she brought a friend with her. And when I went to meet her, she introduced me to her friend as her realtor. Because of the constant contact that Lofty was providing, with the emails and the market updates and the listings, this lady considered me her realtor, and I haven't seen her in over a year. And then the best part was after I closed her, that friend she introduced me to, she referred me to, and that person ended up buying a house from us as well. So that's kind of one of my bigger successes in the program. Just the length of time in between meeting this person and closing the deal, and then also at the end of it, getting the referral.
You guys, we're gonna do everything we can to blast through these because we got 12 questions and allow you guys some time for Q&A. So don't hesitate to write down questions or any of your thoughts. Great, Kev. Thanks. That was very insightful. All right, let's go on to another question. Which do you utilize in the follow-up? Calls, emails, texts, video calls, or audio calls? And which have you found to be the most successful? Leslie, let's hear from you again.
I use them all.
Can you speak a little bit louder?
Oh, yep. So I use them all. I'm getting better at sending the video texts. I've learned also through Lofty, if I text through Lofty, it will automatically text from my personal phone, and it keeps better track for me than me having to go back and, scroll through and see when the last time I talked to him was. So I'm getting better at that. I'll send them random emails from Zillow just to keep them connected, and I don't always hear back from people, but I'm using everything. And aside from the fact that I sent out that mass email incorrectly with just their name and question mark, I got a few people going, "Who's this? What?" Somebody ghosted me, and I'm like, well, then this is a pretty good tactic, right?
The name of the game is grabbing their attention, and sometimes if you mess up, it's not a bad thing. Who's paying attention? Good, yeah, good stuff. All right. Mia, how about you? What do you, what of those, if any, are you utilizing?
I definitely do calls and texts the most. And then if, you know, I'm not getting much of a response, I'll send emails to try and trigger that. I do use Zillow too, because I tend to see that people send me, you know, inquiries on properties through there. And I've recently started to get better at sending video messages and like putting my face out there. I hate doing it, but they tend to respond because they're seeing you and it's more personalized. So I'm trying to do that more frequently, but not for everybody, just the ones where I feel like there's a good connection, good vibe, good, you know, because some people are just like monotone and it feels a little intimidating to put my face all up in there.
What about you, Kev?
We're usually pretty lucky with the text message, and then recently I've overcome my fear of the video. You know, thanks to a few of you in the office that have motivated me. So, and that video text tends to work out awesome. We get a lot of feedback and a lot of responses from that particular type of messaging. So for us, it's text messages and video messages have been working for us greatly.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, let's see. I'm gonna skip down to do you send yeah. So actually this is a pretty simple one, but I was curious just to hear what people had to say. Do you send digital business cards immediately after taking a call? If so, how do you store them in your phone to efficiently find and send? Everybody has it. Everybody sends it. Everybody has it saved to like it to or pinned so they get right to it. Or so guys, that's super crucial. Digital business card if you don't have one, and making sure as soon as you hang up, you're sending that. Patrick?
Yeah, what I loved about that is similar to the intro video question, everybody has one. You guys are across the board are all doing these things. And each of you with the business card has a slightly different system, but to me, the takeaway from that is there's no one right way or perfect way, or you don't need to overthink these things. It's finding a system that works for you. I know you can pin yourself in your text message, pin yourself. And that's what I do. I send myself important stuff. So I can easily go to my text. At the very top, I'm there. I'm gonna open it up, copy, paste. A few of you have it where you use, I think Leslie's is that way. Others, you guys all have like a folder in your photos called real estate or called marketing, whatever it may be, where you can quickly access it. So really, really great that like, again, all of you are doing these things and you make it efficient for yourself to follow the process that works for you.
Awesome, Patrick. Thanks. All right, question number 5. Do you send follow-up messages from Zillow and or from Lofty? Let's start with Mysti Matthews.
So Wes, this kind of is gonna piggyback off of the question before the digital business card. I try and look at how the client likes to communicate, right? I have some people who like Zillow and have some people who never respond in Zillow. So I just try to take a look and see how they like to respond. But I will say Lofty trumps everything else. I mean, I don't know what with those emails, but I get more responses from emails than I do. Well, I get some response in text also, but I notice that people are constantly opening up emails. You know, like the smart plans, I get people who respond back to me. I didn't even know the thing went out, right? Because I just set everybody up. But I think I just try and pay attention to how they like to respond. So when I get an update to follow up, I just go look and see how our last communication was. Takes me all of 3 to 5 seconds. And that's the way I reach out.
Awesome. Awesome. Patrick, you got something from Christina on that one, or Christine Canales?
Yes, sir.
This is in regards to following up Zillow and or Lofty.
Got it.
Do I send follow-up messages from Zillow and or from Lofty? I pretty much only work through Lofty because I try to keep my system organized. And now that Lofty and Zillow are integrated with each other, it's nice because now there's a note in Zillow stating that I've sent a message or an email. So I usually work through Lofty.
So
Thank you,
leads, so,
Christine.
yeah, I love what she was pointing out there, and I'm going to be sharing the insights I got from the Zillow, what are their monthly webinar last week that had a ton of cool insights. But messaging through Lofty Zillow does help your your CSV rating, etc., and it helps extend your My Agent connection. I'll explain more of that. But where she was talking about the two-way syncing is just insane, because if you're on a nurture plan or leads on a nurture plan in Lofty, when they get emails from you, it automatic that you don't do anything about, it goes out on its own through Lofty from the automation that we set up that Mysti was referring to, where she gets replies to emails that she doesn't even realize had gone out. But it also will sync over a note to your Zillow account, to their account, saying that you sent an email, so it clears an update if one was due or restarts the 28-day period. So the idea is to keep your guys' life and workflow efficient, and the less time you have to be doing redundant things or making notes here, updates here. We have a lot of people that complain about like all the updates in Zillow, and I get it, but if that's another reason to utilize the systems that are in place and utilizing Lofty to help you minimize all that, and at the same time stay top of mind and engage with those leads that will come back 18 months later just from receiving your emails and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, love what you guys are all doing with that.
Cool. How about Leslie? Zillow and or Lofty?
What do you use?
Oh. What's wrong with you?
That's how you know,
Um,
singer.
I love that it's syncs now between the two of them, where before it didn't. So you always had to kind of make notes in both. And so Lofty is most of what I use because it even tracks the emails that, and I don't know how I did this, but when I send an email from my personal account, it shows up in Lofty as well. So it's like a double, it doesn't even have to, yeah. Anyway, so Lofty is great because it tracks everything and it's really easy to see when the last time I contacted him, but I'll still do it through Zillow too. You just I can't use my, oh yes, I can. I can use my personal email through Zillow, but you can't use it through Lofty. But it tracks it. Yeah.
So the
It's
resounding
fantastic.
is Lofty is
Yeah.
the best place,
Mhm.
is what I'm hearing. And why wouldn't you? Because it integrates the other way and into Zillow and keeps that all updated for you. You guys, I think we all know the answer to this, but I'm just gonna throw it out there anyway. All these people do have intro videos that go out to all their leads. All of them have their intro videos, which we will be talking about on the huddle, but I'm not going to beat that right now. Patrick, you have anything you want to say on that?
No, I'm just going to share a screenshot on how you set that up, by the way. And if people want to do that by adding their email to make sure if you're sending emails to leads that are in your Lofty, or you're sending it, let's say, from your Gmail account, where that email will go into their profile in Lofty as well. So you can kind of keep everything streamlined, easy to track your communications, all chronologically ordered for you. So I'll share a screenshot in the chat right now to show people how to set that up if they want to.
You're going to put that in the chat, you said? Perfect.
Yeah, I'm going to put that in right now.
All right. Let's keep moving on with this then. Here's a good one. I think I know that personally, I don't do this very well. Actually, I don't do it. Now I'm having to backtrack a whole lot. Do you ask for online reviews from your clients? If so, when and how? Mysti.
I am literally the review Nazi. Okay. So this is the way I plan it. Right before we close, I'm asking for a review. Okay. So my last closing that I just had, it was 3 buyers and three buyers, and they were kind of lagging. I was like, what's up with this? I usually send the link from Zillow. I send it directly to them, to the email. This is Mysti Matthews has requested a review. they were taking forever. I mean, we did do like a seller rip back. So I was like, maybe they want to make sure everything still goes, you know, as planned. But I literally followed up with them like 4 times. I want my freaking review. Like, I'm giving you 150%, and all I want at the end is a freaking review, because everybody looks at reviews these days. Everybody. So yeah, I don't let a client get away from me without a review. When I came to WR, I hadn't really been collecting reviews from like past clients. I reached out to all of them. I was like, hey guys, I'm getting serious about resale real estate, and I need you to write a review for me. So I think if you're not getting your reviews, you're just cheating yourself. Get those reviews, because new clients will literally judge you off of those reviews. That's my 2 cents.
Love it. Leslie, how about you?
I usually ask for them right around the closing. And one time I told this homeowner, I'm like, while you still like me, here's the link to the. And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, I'm just kidding. Oh my God, calm down. And so they still to this day have not sent me a review, but that's okay. But yeah, that's right before closing. I've had a couple of people that I've worked with for a really long time that never ended up buying anything for whatever reason, but we had such a great relationship that they wrote me reviews as well in terms of working for me. And now there's one I get randomly to review the agent that you've worked with, and I don't remember the name of the app, and I don't know if it costs anything,
Google.
but oh, okay. So, well, some sort of rate my agent, right?
Rate my agent, yeah.
And so, like one agent said, "Oh, you were really fun to work with," and I'm like, "Oh, here's the link to review," you know, but I don't want to put it on Zillow, so whatever it could be. So
Why not? But hey,
yeah,
did you guys throw in a little humor while you still? I love that. What a great line. Here, I need you to write this review while you still like me. You know, like how fun is that? If you're gonna make them laugh, and that's gonna be memorable instead of just asking for something. You're having fun with it. I mean, guys, don't be afraid to have fun. Or, you know, let your personality shine through. Read the audience, right? You know, I mean, if they're an engineer, they might not find that so funny, but you know, try to break through. It might be kind of fun. I don't know.
No, Wes, I like to make it where they feel like I asked you for a review, and then they're gonna call and ask me a question, and that allows me to ask them about the review again, because it's like if it's over, right? Like they're done. Some people keep in touch, some think you're amazing, and some just kind of like, I bought a house, I'm done with you until maybe I have a next real estate transaction. But I always time it to ask for the review right before the closing, right before, because they're gonna have a question and I'm gonna have to give them keys. So the pressure of seeing me and not giving me a review, I try to play it in my favor.
on these keys.
Nice.
You want the.
It's Kevin, Mia, do you have any other? Do you do it any other way other than like right before the closing?
I'm actually a little different. We actually wait until 2 or 3 days after the closing, and had a really good response with that. I think everyone's going to be different, what you're comfortable with. I kind of now, after hearing Mysti, I learned something new. So, but we've had overall success with the reviews. Just sending them out 2 to 3 days. One thing we do stress in the email that we sent is we kind of bring up the modern day, like, hey, we really need your help because in real estate, our online presence is really key. So that's kind of a little bit of wording we use in our review email, and I think that helps out a lot because they understand that a lot of people are probably going to look at your reviews, and they do whatever they can to help you out.
I love that. So either making it funny or talking to them about the importance of why, what it means to you, right? It's not just asking for a review. There's a reason, right? Nia, you have any different take on that?
I found that I've been more successful in getting reviews when I ask them 2 to 3 weeks after closing, just because I feel like most of my clients are bombarded with last minute things before close of escrow, packing, moving. And so I kind of typically wait till I feel like things have settled down in their life. And then I'll send an email following up, seeing how the house is treating them. And then I do my little spiel about reviews and everything. Another thing I do too, just to kind of gauge their review on me, is when I go to give them keys and we're talking, we're celebrating, I always ask them like, I hope I provided you guys with the service that was exceptional. Do you have any feedback, to kind of get a verbal review from them while I'm in front of them? And I ask, for their honest feedback. Is there anything I could have done differently or whatever? And they usually tell me. So then I'm like, okay, cool. I'm going to feel real good sending you this email request. And it's worked out that way. I'm still waiting for a review for my sister from last March, though, which I'm kind of butthurt.
What the heck's wrong with her?
When's her birthday? Hold that.
That's right.
It actually was just last week.
You're not getting your birthday gift or your friggin' give me a review, damn it. Patrick, what's up?
Yeah, I just want to say you guys all have like different processes that all seem to work. I am of the belief that like it is typically the best time to send it right when like all conditions are met, before closing, because like Mysti said, they're still involved. But my big take from all of this is there's no reason to not use all of it combined. If you get it going early, send it out before close. They're still, like I said, engaged with you. Some people will just close and forget about you, so you'll capture them that aren't. Some people will be too busy to do it then, so you'll still have a chance to follow up with them later and capture them. It's not bad to send it a few times. It's just the way you present it. So if you were going to send it again, like Mia does, a couple weeks after, like, hey, just a reminder, I shot this to you during, before we close, but I know, things are pretty busy during that time. So hoping that maybe after things have settled down, you guys might have a second to support my business. I'm going to be reaching out to you, Kev, to see the template you send and see if I can incorporate into our Lofty one. But yeah, so I'd say, again, there's no right or wrong way to do this. And a lot of times you can combine a little bit of everybody's thoughts here and give yourself the best chance to capture as many as possible.
Mia, let's go back to you. What is your main goal on the first appointment?
I try to listen as much as possible, to gain more info on what their needs and wants are. I walk with them throughout properties, but kind of stay back and I let them know I'm there if they have questions or whatever, but I try to really pay attention to what they're talking to amongst themselves, whoever comes on the showing appointment, because not all times they're telling me these things. So I kind of listen to the conversation so I can really narrow down properties that fit their exact need and or wants. So listening is my big thing, I guess.
Love it. Mysti Matthews, how about you?
My whole goal is just for them to like me. That's it. Sometimes all I show up with is the MLS sheet. That is it. The whole goal, well, not the whole goal. I have two goals. The first goal is for them to like me because they're going to buy a house with somebody. And I want it to be me, no matter when it is. My second one is to see how serious they are. At the end of every first appointment, I go in to get them approved, to let them speak to a lender every time. And I honestly, guys, I'll tell you, out of the 11 that I close, I will say that, I hate to say, but all of them, we went right into approval. And then that tells me how serious they are. Now, sometimes it can mess up my showing rate though, because I'm not overly aggressive too, by the way. I may sound like I am, but I'm really not. It's just a conversation. That's all. It's just a conversation and it's part of the process. But sometimes, like I recently had a showing, I'm gonna go fast, Wes. I know we're getting through. I always have a story to tell, right? I had a client out in Discovery Bay, first time meeting him and his family. And at the end, I always try to make sure it's a staged home so we can have the conversation without any pressures of standing up, where I'm like, hey guys, let's have a seat and let's, talk about next steps. And we go to the next step. And I can always tell them like, okay, Mysti, if I say you're available tomorrow between this time and this time, I was like, yeah, I'm available. So we spoke to two lenders, and then he wanted to speak to his own. And of course, his own lender threw a monkey wrench and was like, oh, the inflation report. I'm like, what the crap? Inflation report? We can't control that. And now he's like, well, we think we might just want to wait. But either way, I know how serious he is. right? He took the information. We had 2 conference calls with the lender. I know they're serious about going to the next step. And I have a lot of agents who say, oh, Mysti, I've shown them like 3 or 4 times. Like, guys, I don't do that. I don't. Time is money. So to me, if you don't want to put enough skin in the game to know what you qualify for, I don't need to show you any more homes. And I'm not overly aggressive, I promise you. It's just a conversation, and pre-qualification is the first step to home ownership. So that's all I have to like me, and let's get you pre-qualified.
Hey, guys, I want you to hear that, but I also want you to know, unless you're Mysti Matthews, we are paying attention to the funnel and your funnel metrics, and how you're moving them through that. Mysti, I can't argue with Mysti or correct her in any way. She has a 13% conversion rate. What she's doing is working. But and what I hope a lot of you get is you're taking little bits and pieces from everybody and finding what resonates with you and how it's got to be natural. It's got to fit, right? And thank you for that, Mysti. That was good.
Doug and Jacqueline had a good question, which I was just thinking myself. So I'm going to even help you guys push that to the top. If Mysti can go a little more into how you get the client to have the conference call with ZHL and/or how you deliver that, because I think it's a big struggle for all of us. It was for me. I was a little too passive with this whole getting pre-approved. Like, hey, it's a really good idea, but if you're not ready, I'm still here, and then I would get run over. So, is there any insight you can give on how you deliver that in not
Real
a
quick
crazy
too.
aggressive way?
So like I said, at the end of every tour, I always try and make sure it's a staged home so we can sit down, right? And I always say, hey guys, let's have a seat. And then I have my buyer's presentation. The third page in first of all, my buyer's presentation only consists of who I am, my Zillow reviews, where they are in the process, and how real estate agents get paid. That's all I have in there, okay? So when I'm going through it, and then I get to the third page, it's like, where are you in the process? And it's a visual, right? And they're like, oh yeah, we just started looking, whatever. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I actually work really closely with ZHL because the first step to home ownership is pre-qualification. And believe it or not, guys, people just go right with it. Keep in mind, I do come from new home sales a long, long time ago. So we did have to always get to that next step. So, but that's just what I say. It's just a conversation. It is simply just a conversation. And sometimes if I know that, like if the buyer has kind of already hinted around, I will let my loan officer know kind of an approximate time that I'm going to be somewhere and I want to get them on the phone. So sometimes I will go right into, do you have a couple of minutes to talk to the lender right now? They never say, I've never had anyone say no. Like, honestly, I've never had anyone say no.
Something a takeaway for me on this, I really would like everybody to hear a couple takeaways. One is everything is just a conversation. Everything is just a conversation. And by the way, we talk about the island consult or the driveway consult, meaning when you're done showing, hers is just a little bit different, but it works for her, right? She's sitting, and I like that. Find a mistake, make the last home you show a staged home so you can sit down, relax. And instead of the conversation, like most of us do, setting the next appointment, she's setting the pre-qual. How powerful is that? But the point is, she's still having that consultation before she leaves them. Huge takeaway.
I'm really saying that's really the way I do it. Just don't overthink it. Like, don't be afraid, because sometimes people are like, oh, well, they're not going to want to give their credit. They're not going to want to. Well, why are they out looking at houses? Right? We can't buy a house without kind of knowing, well, first of all, what you're approved for, or what you're comfortable with. So I just make it part of my buyer's presentation. And Jacqueline and Doug, if you'd like, reach out to me. I'll shoot it over to you, the visual, because the visual allows it not to be so invasive. And it's just like, oh, well, we talked earlier and I see this, you guys have talked to a lender, or you were going to talk to a lender. Sometimes we'll just take that approach depending on the client, but it's just a conversation. There's no pressure like, hey, let me run your credit, what you qualify for. It's just a conversation.
Nice. Mia, did we go? I got so involved in what Mysti was saying. Did we hit you for that question, Mia? Yeah, we did. Kevin, how about you? What is your main goal on your first appointment?
I think everyone before me just hit on a lot of it. But my first and foremost thing is just building the rapport. I'm really more on a personal level with the client the first time I meet them, especially in the first house. Just really getting to know them, you know, and then start asking the qualifying questions of, you know, have you been pre-approved? Where are you in the process? You know, what is your criteria in the home you're looking for? But I usually like to start with just a kind of building a relationship and try to get past that, you know, first awkward moment when you meet somebody, especially if you're, you know, meeting them at like an open house. I know that gets a little tricky, but that's usually my first plan of action is building that rapport with the client and knowing that they can trust me.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna jump to another question, and we'll start with you, Leslie, on this one. How do you confirm appointments with leads after taking the call? And how about a lead that sets an appointment for like 3 to 5 days or further out after the call?
So immediately after we hang up and we've set the appointment, I will send them a text, you know, confirming you know, this is my direct cell and that we're going to stay connected this way. And then I'll send them either a copy of my business card or I'll send them the digital. I need to get better about sending out that digital business card. And then I go into Lofty and I add them to my contacts immediately. So I don't have to do it twice. Lofty will do it for me. And I usually tell them, you know, I'll get right back to you. So after that, I will go into Lofty, and once I confirm access to whatever house it is that we're going to, I go into Lofty and I schedule the appointment through Lofty for each individual property that we're going to go see, unless it's a multiple. Sometimes I'll go in and figure out which, you know, route is best or easiest, right, with MapQuest. And then I set it up to remind them the night before. Most of the time I'll follow up with them the night before, and then the morning of, the first thing I do is text them. So it's just constant, you know, making sure that they're going to show up. So
Do you guys hear that? She goes in and adds them as a contact in Lofty, sets the appointment in Lofty. Lofty sends out the reminders.
yeah.
And then she still sends out a text reminder. Patrick.
Just to clarify, because you said you add them as a contact in Lofty. Did you mean in your phone? Because in Lofty, they just import
Oh,
automatically.
well, yeah. So if you go into Lofty at the top, when you open up that, when you open up the contact name, right? And you're looking at the new person, up in the top right of the phone, there's 3 dots. If you click on those 3 dots, it will say add to your phone contacts.
Oh, sure.
And so I add that to my
Oh.
phone contacts. So I don't have to go
Wow.
into my phone contacts and then change the name and the address and the email and all of that. And so now they're automatically in there. So when I do get ready to text them, I just have to type in their name and it brings it right up and I don't have to search through a bunch of phone numbers.
Well, like I said, Leslie,
Hallelujah. I'm teaching
talk
Crash.
about Lofty that
Oh,
I
I-
don't even know, because I don't use, this is from the mobile app, right? It's from the app.
Yeah, no, you
For
can,
Lofty.
yeah, it's on the mobile app. You can do it. It's really easy because I'm usually on this thing 90% of the time. And yeah, it just makes it really super easy.
Just a couple little knowledge bombs getting dropped on all ya. That was a mic drop one. How simple, and none of us hit.
See,
So
so here's your Lofty screen, right? And then up in the top right,
Yeah.
you've got
There's 3 bubbles.
the 3 bubbles. And
Add the
it'll
phone.
say add the
Girl,
phone
right there.
contacts.
Wes.
And it adds their email and their
Come on.
phone number. And so now when I get ready to send them a Gmail from my Gmail, they're already in there too because everything is synced and connected.
Instead of having to type it out.
yeah, no, that's that. Gosh, you guys, what great,
Girl,
great little clue
I
there.
told you I'm marrying you. Find that.
All right.
Because I was so sick and tired of adding them, and I'm like, I found it by
Honestly,
accident.
out of
today, I'm like,
everything today, you have no idea.
There you go.
Everything today, that right there saved.
oh, it
Hey,
was so much
Everything is
time.
meant to make you guys' life
So much
easier.
time.
When we share like this, that's fantastic. Mia, how about you? How do you confirm appointments with leads after the call and then following up and they're, you know, more than 3 to 5 days out?
I always immediately text after we hang up just to kind of reiterate a short version of what we talked about, confirming the appointment. And then I'll always send, depending, well, when it's further out than a day, I always send a follow-up text the day before our showing just to make sure their schedules haven't changed. There's been times where they're like, oh, I can't make that. Thanks for reaching out. And then I also send another confirmation text 2 hours-ish before, just to make sure we're still on track. And then I always throw in like, can I bring you a coffee or something? Because I feel like they're definitely prone to responding when I offer that coffee.
Nice, love it. You guys, we got some short questions left. I want to get through these so you guys can answer some questions or take questions from everybody. What is Kevin? What is one area you're focusing on to close more transactions in 2024?
I think I'm going to concentrate on really pushing out more video messages and video emails. I just think, we're in 2024 and that's kind of the way things are going with technology. And, being I've overcame my fear, I'm going to take advantage of it now. We've gotten a lot of responses with these, and, I think it's a great way to engage some more leads that haven't been quite so active lately.
Patrick, you could never be replaced. You've been enhanced. You got something? We haven't heard from Christine in a while. You got something teed up for her on this one?
Yes, we do. Boom, boom, boom.
What is one area Christine's focusing on?
Yeah, let's hear it, Christine Canales.
What's one area that I'm focusing on to close more transactions in 2024? It's tightening up my follow-up. I'm just trying to come up with a more consistent process and timeline for following up with people that, after we've gone to see the first listings. So it's really just coming up with a more streamlined process where, I'm the good thing, what's helpful is the tasks. You can set up tasks in Zillow, so that's useful. You can set up reminders. So if I'm, seeing somebody, they didn't want to put offers on the house, we don't have anything specific to look at after that first appointment, then I'll put a reminder in my calendar or in that task system in Zillow to reach back out within 48 hours. And so really follow up and coming up with a streamlined process.
Nice.
Cool. And wanted to add with that we also have that in Lofty. So you can do it again. It's not always that you have to use one system that is right for all, but you can do these, whatever works best for you. Obviously, we're constantly encouraging you guys to get more into Lofty because we have a lot more in there, like the nurture plans, the two-way syncing, your property alerts come out of there, but both those are great. Like as long as you're setting something up. I use Siri a lot now. I used to never use it. I use it all the time. Siri, remind me in 2 hours, follow up with Leslie again. Just kidding. But yeah, like I just leverage whatever I can and whatever works. So now I'm using Siri a lot. But there's the nice thing is there's a lot of options and they're all effective. It's just finding one that, routine that works well for you.
All right, last two questions. And this one, I'm going to have everybody answer real quick. But if you had to choose one thing that's played the biggest role in your success with the Flex program, what would that be? Mia.
My answer to that is just trying to stay consistent on direct contact, like literally talking to somebody or texting, just getting that response and everything, because there were times when I failed to follow up and a few months go by and I've reached out and they're like, oh, we already bought a house. Oh, and then that's like, I'm like, damn it, if I would have stayed on top of that, that could have been mine. So that's kind of in the back of my head always, to stay on top of my follow-up.
Love it. Mysti Matthews. One thing that's played the biggest role in your success in the Flex program.
You say my biggest success was?
So if you had to choose one thing that has played the biggest role in your success with the Flex program, what would that be?
It's so funny. I answered that question on the list. And I don't remember what I said. But I will definitely say mindset and just staying consistent. So I'm very process oriented. I do the same thing with every lead. Literally, I get a lead, I send them a text with my digital business. Well, first of all, they get the video from me. Okay, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but that was my idea. It was my idea. It was my idea to send out intro videos from a video that I had from quite some time ago. But I want them to see who I am. So the consistency of doing it the same every time, every lead I touch, it's always the same, because I believe, how do you become better if you can't reflect? You know, so for me, it's just staying consistent. I wouldn't change anything about my process right now as far as how I touch a lead, how I follow up with the lead. For me, it's how do I double my production, and then I'm maximizing my time. So did I answer that question? I feel like I went on a tangent.
You actually did answer it. It was moving them through the funnel, but I liked this answer better. And by the way, don't change a fucking thing, Misty. 13% conversion rate. Don't change a fucking thing. Straight up. All right. Leslie, you had to choose one thing that played the biggest role in your success with the Flex program. What would it be?
Well, in the beginning, because I sold that first house like my first day, I thought everybody was going to buy a house the first time I ever saw them. So, you know, my expectation level has since decreased a little. And I don't know if I told you, but I thought Wes I thought he was testing me. I'm like, why is Zillow calling me? Maybe it's Wes. He's testing me to see if I'm going to answer. But I think if I look back at just with all of the contacts that we have, I love the Wednesday calls. I love the Zillow Flex team. So I read this question a little bit differently as just all the training has been, you know, the Zillow Academy, which a lot of the Zillow Academy has just done nothing more than what's the word I'm looking for? Like all my skills. They've
It hones your skills.
And reaffirming that I really kind of do. It's great when you're like, oh, I already do that, and they're telling you to do it. So, and then the calls. I mean, it's just constant stay in the middle and constant interaction and contact. So
Love it. Kev, what's the one thing you attribute your success to in Flex?
Mine is going to be Sophia. You know, I
Yeah,
know.
I knew it. Hey, by the way, good
I
answer.
know.
And I think all of us completely agree with you.
I know everyone doesn't, you know, have that. But the reason I brought it up is because I want everyone to know that, you know, as Wes mentioned in the beginning, I've been here since day one, so I've accumulated quite a bit of leads, and at some points I was so overwhelmed, it was unbelievable, and I was letting, you know, leads fall through the cracks, and you know. And when I finally got time to check in with a lot of them, you know, oh, we just purchased a home, and you know, I probably should have had a few more deals, but ever since, you know, Sophia and I have partnered up, she has helped me tremendously, not to let anything slide by. Follow-ups are, you know, we're on top of it. You know, she's updating Zillow leads every day. So again, I know not everyone has that capability, but the reason I bring it up is if you ever get to that point, start looking into maybe hiring an assistant or just somebody for a few hours a week, or just somebody that can, you know, I know sometimes even people in the office have teamed up. You know, it really does help having, you know, somebody there to help you out and to back you up. And you know, she's been the biggest addition and role for me in the last, you know, 2 years by far.
Love it. Love it. Hey,
I thought somebody was going to at least answer that Wes and I were the biggest part of their success. We'll get another 5 people for our next panel and pray for that answer.
I'm trying for brownie points over here, Patrick.
Yeah, well played.
You're a smart man. Patrick, let's see what Christine has to say. Her biggest success attribute is, or she could attribute to her success.
Wait.
If I had to choose one thing that's played the biggest role in my success with the Flex program. It would be, I would say my communication, the fact that I am making the effort to call them again, to talk about what they're looking for. You know, maybe it feels as though I'm going over and beyond by offering to continue to search for them. And then this is maybe a second thing, but I always bring a folder. I always have folders for my buyers when I meet with them, and they have a really good. So I have my buyers presentation, which is templates that we had in the toolbox. So I come prepared, and I'm really spot on, I think, with communication. So those two things are really helping to solidify the relationships that I begin with somebody on the Flex program.
Love it. You guys, last question. I'm gonna call out 3 people on this one. But last question was, and I always love this question, right? Because we don't always know all the questions to ask, right? We think we do, but we don't know it all. I know it's hard to believe that Patrick kind of does, but I don't. Is there a question you wish we would have asked? If so, what would it have been and what would be your answer? So I'm going to go to, let's see, how about Mysti first? Mysti says, what is my why? What is my long and short-term goals? Go ahead, Mysti.
So I thought the question was, I was supposed to ask you and Patrick a question that you didn't ask me.
Yeah, you did. That was, and you said, what is my why and what is my long and short-term
Oh, so
goal?
I need to tell the team. Okay. So guys, I come from corporate. I haven't been sales it's been a long time. So my why leaving corporate was failure is not an option. I had 2 kids in college. One just graduated in December, but you know, I don't want to just say my family, right? Because money is great, but if you do what you're supposed to do, the money will come. I love the feel of success. I just love it. And I missed it for a long time because I used to build teams. It was still successful, but it's not the same when you do it yourself. So for me, it was just like fucking balls to the wall and let's make this happen. You just made a huge life decision at 48. Well, I think I was 47 last year, so 48 now. But it was a huge decision, and I was a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. So my why was like, you gotta do. Failure's not an option. Yeah, you got kids in college. I got a kid who wants a brownstone in DC, guys. You know, which is a 4.6 GPA. I have a hard time saying no. So I'm like, well, okay, do we buy a brownstone? Do we rent a brownstone? And my husband is like, shut up. So to me, it's like, you got to have your why, and it's different for everybody. Success feels different for everybody. For me, when I was younger, it was just money, but it's not money anymore. It's the feel of just making it happen. Like when you put your mind to something and you like, damn, I did that. Like I freaking did that. So that's my why. Short-term goal was to be consistent last year. This year is to dominate. I would really like to double my production. And I am ahead of last year, but I'm not where I want to be. I always know where I need to be. Right now, I'm not seeing enough clients and I'm not writing enough offers. I think it's important to know where you are every day in your business. So I know that. So I'm like, even though I'm going to have a really good January, but what's going to happen in February? What's going to happen in March? I'm always looking ahead. And when it comes to long term, eventually I'll build a team and I'll take a step back. Because, you know, I don't want to run hard forever, but I like it right now. So
I love it. I love it. You just heard it from the Mysti Matthews show. Kevin also chimed in on this one. And Kevin, what do you wish we would have asked? Kevin said, what do you do on your first visit to stand out and add value? Kevin, you want to answer that?
This is kind of an extension of the previous question. You know, what's your goal on the first visit? But, you know, what are you also doing to stand out? And, you know, it's little things, and we do something very simple, but I think it does help. You know, there are some WR folders available at the office, and you can also make your own. And what we do with those folders is add our business card. We add all the client pages for the particular listings we're going to go see. We give comps for those areas we are going to view. And then we also put in a partnered preferred lender in there as well, which is I want to see if ZHL can hook one up for the office for us, because I'd love to add that in there. And then the reason I love being on these calls is also I just learned something new from Mysti, and I was texting her during the meeting here because I want to put her 6 steps to success in my folder because I think that's a great tool as well. You know, so I'm providing that extra value, going that extra step on that first visit because what I also want to do is get that in their hand, and then they go home. And then they put the folder on their coffee table. Then after dinner, they're like, oh, well, yeah, let's look at the listings we looked at today. Oh, hey, there's Kevin and Sophia in the folder, you know, so it's just front of mind, adding that extra value and just taking that little extra step.
Nice. Love it. All right, you guys, I've got one more. However, just to preface this, after this one, we're going to stay on here for another 10, 15 minutes. If you guys want, I know if you have to go, but you want to hear this last one. But so you guys can ask questions of our panelists. But this was probably my favorite question we didn't ask. And I'm going to let Mia bring this one home. It says, is there a question you wish we would have asked? If so, what is it? And what would be your answer? And Mia said, I wish you would have asked me, who inspires me to be better in real estate? Mia, tell us.
My answer, I mean, it was jokefully, but it was also like serious, is being able to work against you guys, amongst all of you. I really feel like hearing everybody's success and everybody's shout outs when they do something, it's like, damn, I got to pick up the pace. It keeps me excited. And, you know, we are really like a family, and I have called on many of you multiple times, and it's always been helpful to giving me more information than I've even asked, you know, so I'm really grateful to be a part of this team for sure. I love it. It's all the good vibes.
We love all of you. And by the way, what she really said in her response to us was, and my answer would be all these badass agents I get to work with. I'm like, yes. We have an office full of badass agents. It's freaking great. I love it. I love it. Guys, first off, to all the panelists, give them a hand, please. Y'all brought so much friggin' value. Appreciate you all so much. And if you could, by just raising your hand in the, you know, in the box, hit the raise your hand button. If you have any questions for anybody in particular or collectively, go ahead and raise your hand, and Patrick will call on you. And if you don't, that's okay too.
Is Sophia taking any new client?
Sorry, turn your volume.
I'll pass that on. Is Sophia taking on new clients to Kevin?
If the price is right.
Always.
I love it. Awesome, beautiful. Jacqueline, what you got for us?
Yeah, my question is for Kev. Kev, you had said that you've been here for a while, you're an OG, so you accumulated a bunch of leads, right? So what did you and or Sophia do to try to get your metrics back up? Because you couldn't just do what the standard was. You had to like 3-4 times it, right, to get to where you needed to be, because there was all these backflow of leads. So was there anything in particular that you would recommend if you were in that situation?
I think our biggest thing was, you know, all the leads are important, right? But you kind of have to determine them of, okay, who's ready to go in 0 to 3 months? Who's ready to go in 3 to 6 months? Who's ready to go in 6 to 9 months? Who's literally a year out, you know, maybe just signed a year lease agreement. So we're touching all these leads irregardless of their situation, but we are I can't say that word. But you know what I mean. We're putting the 0 to 3 months, like we're hitting those hard. The 3 to 6 months, we're still on those pretty good. You know, 6 to 9 months, 9 to 12 months, we're kind of staying in touch with them, but I still cannot say that word. We're putting them front of mind, and we're kind of going where the hotter leads take us, so to speak. We're really focusing on that, because in the beginning I was chasing ghost, and I was just burnt out, you know, and at some point, you know, you got to just, you know, take what it gives you at some point.
And then to reiterate, like, so for the leads, you're not prioritizing for like manual touch up, the ones that are 6+ months out. You don't give up on them, right? You have a way to stay on top of them by leveraging Lofty, correct?
Yeah. My beautiful assistant slash boss, she utilizes those tags that you, if you guys don't know, there's particular tags you can put on the nurture plan. So they're perfect because if it's nurture, you know, 6 to 9 months, you could tag it that. And then there's a particular smart plan that goes out to, you know, precede that time frame for the buyer. And then there's, you know, 12-month out. So you can really dial in your smart plans with your leads by utilizing those tags. And yeah, we don't leave no one behind. But you know, again, we just try to prioritize the hot leads and really take advantage of those at the moment.
Awesome. Thanks for that. Does anybody else have a question? You better believe I have one. But does anybody else have one that they want to jump into before I ask mine? Okay, cool. I know that I wanted to ask you guys, I know all of you are doing the right things. That's the one thing I can always see, like the people that are getting after it are doing the things. And that doesn't mean anybody's like doing anything wrong. It's just opportunity if you haven't yet. And it takes time little by little. But I know all of you have your agent intro videos complete. They're going out in Lofty within 5 minutes after you receive every lead. Wanted to start with Kev and maybe go around if Leslie, Mysti, or Mia want to share. What type of results? Are you seeing any results from that? Or did it just seem like a big waste of time? What can you share on that?
Yeah, we've seen a big increase in wanting to work with. I'm still blown away. It seems like almost all the leads are opening this email, and I've gotten a few want to work with from people right after they've watched the video, and I haven't met these people yet in person. So I really think it's you have to have one because it puts a face. You know, because they're not able to see you over the phone. So it puts a face with a name and, you know, really shows, you know, kind of give a personal touch on it. And they've been great for us.
Awesome. And before I jump on, I wanted to ask a follow-up question on that, Kev. Did you love doing it? Was it something you felt was really easy? Did you have it professionally made or put some crazy amount of time? Or was it just like super natural to you?
No, we did about 30 takes. And literally our video is 30 seconds long. And we actually even had a script already written out. So like I was mentioning to you guys, I had the biggest fear. I could talk with anybody, you know, but for some reason when that record button hits, I freeze up. It's really weird. So I'm finally getting over that, you know, thanks to the help of both Mysti's and a little push from some other people. You know, that's why I love this team so much because we can all help each other out in little ways, and it's bigger than you know.
Boom, I love that. And now like Kev's did a holiday email. He reached out to me like, wow, I just did this one. It only took one take. And I've been telling you guys this, and I'm glad to see it in action. But like, I do a lot of it. For those of you that follow me on social, I do a ton of video in public and in person. And I used to hate it, but now I do hundreds. So now it's like it's just everything gets easier and easier the more you do it. And nobody is a natural at these things right off the bat. Mia or Mysti or Leslie, would any of you like to share on those questions regarding the video? Mia, I see you on mute. Go ahead.
Well, I'm pretty sure I have Kevin beat. I think I counted 93 takes when I did my video. It was awful. And I too had a script and still messed it up. But I haven't really taken that many leads since the video's been up. So I'm probably not the best person to ask on that. But I am sending my personal videos through text.
Awesome. Mysti, do you want to jump in on that? I know you are, and yes, Mysti did bring this to WR. So she was the first one to have it uploaded, and we realized, wow, this is a great idea, and that's why we're pushing it. But yeah, Misty, go ahead and elaborate on that if you can.
So guys, my video was not originally meant to be an intro video. I don't remember why I created the video. I mean, obviously to tell people about me, right? And I've been sending, I see my video, I think we start sending it out in like July. I started taking calls in February. We started sending the video out in July. And I will tell you that, yeah, my video is professional because it had a whole nother meaning, but don't overthink the videos. If anybody watches me on social media, you know, just do it. Don't overthink it. And I think, well, I don't think I ever overthought it. I just wanted it over with. I'm not a social media person, believe it or not. Don't really like it. I feel it's too consuming. And a lot of people just want to be in your business. I'm just going to say it, right? I'm older. So that's just the way I see social media. But it's a necessity. So it's amazing to me about the video, how many clients I meet, because I have a little spiel I do about who I am. And they say, oh, Misty, we already watched your video. You know, like it's that we already watched your video. Like, yeah, we know, like they know who I am or something, right? So the video, you gotta do it. It's just, these are the times that we live in, right? Everything is video and text. And even though I've been getting a few older clients who prefer phone calls and things like that, but I mean, I think this is the way real estate is going, right? Everything is video. So I just say, don't overthink it, get it done. It's going to help you grow your business for sure. Just do it. Don't overthink it. And even if you have to do 100 takes until you finally feel like you got it, just get it done. Because it's going to help you. It's going to help you grow your business.
Guys,
And the beauty is, even if you need 100 takes, once it's done, and it just automatically goes out to all your leads 5 minutes after you get them. And I send it back to you, so you can send it to old leads or personal people you connect with. And you have an email template in Lofty to send out on your own. So it's there. You don't have to do it 100 takes 100 times, just
Guys,
one time.
everybody, I want you to hear this loud and clear. We've given you a lot of chances to get this done. That's pretty much coming to an end. There's a reason for it. There's a friggin' reason for it. You get off the phone, all they have is a voice. They have no idea who they're going to meet. They have no idea anything about you. That little video goes out, it personalizes you. All of a sudden, you're now a real estate agent. You're a human being. You're somebody that they hopefully can relate to, or sure as heck relate a lot better. And you heard Misty say, then when you show up, it's almost like they know you. It's almost like they know you. You've already kind of broken a little bit of the ice, little bit of the barrier. It personalizes who they're getting when they show up, and it will increase. I tell you, you want to see your business go. You guys, everything we are doing and asking of you is for your success, to help you be better, to help you do more, to put more money in everybody's pocket. That's what we're all doing this for. I mean, a lot of people have big whys, but I'm sure a lot of you don't like chasing these leads and want to keep doing this forever for free. Just saying. Yeah, what's up?
Another thing this video will help is when you're meeting a client for the first time at an open house and you're standing in the driveway, they at least know who and what you look like. So, because we've all been there where as soon as a car pulls up, we're like, hey, are you so-and-so? You know, so then they kind of have a perspective of what you look like, you know, if you haven't sent them your card already, but that always helps as well.
Thank you so much.
Anybody else? Any other questions?
Yeah, if anybody would like to see the mashup of all of my outtakes and 4-letter words, and you're doing it at the office, and apparently I was color coordinated with backdrop, and Misty encouraged me and helped me, and I got Gina Marie walking by the window. And I think it took me, I don't know, but anyway, yeah.
Come on in, we'll make
pretty
it fun. You're sure to have a good time, everybody. I'm telling you, we got all this stuff for it in here. So, all right, you guys, we're at 20 after. Anybody have any other questions, or we can wrap this up and just tell you what? Just thank you everybody for showing up, for the great questions. Hopefully, everybody got a little something or a lot of something out of this today. I know Patrick and I even did, which we always do. We don't know it all, you guys, which is why we love to hear from all of you. So again, thank you. Go out and crush the week. Give everybody a hand.
Thank you all. You guys rock. All of you. Have a great week.